playing with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Happy, 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 happy.
Happy birthday, Rose.
No, it's happy Monday. It ain't even no happy birthday. You always coming up in my stuff, up in my mix. Wait for my people to come on in here. YouTube is a mess tonight. So, no, it just ain't good. It ain't good. Ain't nothing good about it, baby. They doing way too much on these YouTube streets, baby. They intervening in people private affairs that just should have stayed private. And I just, oh Lord, it's just too much for me.
Ow.
It is just too much for me. Well, y'all know I talk. Hey, Brit. Hey, my Brit. Girl, Brit, what is going on these YouTube streets with Miss LA? And why is they bringing that back up, Brit? Girl, give me your input on that. That's ridiculous. Why is they bringing that back up? Hey, Stinger Scorpions. Hey, Queens. Yeah, why is they bringing that back up, y'all? Like, I just don't understand what people, what people would do anything for the almighty dollar. They don't care who it affects, how it affects people, just to be this deep in this mother and son's business. When a year ago, when that story first broke, they need money, in my opinion, all of them, including her son, Brit. And Sting Black Scorpion, come on now. This was last year. And when that story first broke, it was a big thing. Everybody was discussing it or whatever. Then it went away. So for it to be brought back up in this aggressive manner, and now you got him going live calling his mama all kind of bees. I don't care nothing about that bee, this and that. I ain't got to look. Oh, my Lord. It's a snapping turtle. It's no way. Y'all, it ain't no right in this. And you know what? Like they say, that love of money is the root of all evil, but nobody's thinking about the long-lasting effects. That child can get on here and act as tough as he want to act. If that really happened to him, if he's really dealing with that childhood trauma, really, it's not going to go away. No matter how many bees he call his mama, no matter, what they go through on this internet to try to impress everybody on the internet without actually physically healing themselves, because she needs healing too. Because just from the stories that she told, she had a rough childhood. So hurt people, okay? If you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else, whether it's a child, whether it's a spouse, whether it's, regardless of who it is. You may want to. Hey, D Brown, it came out in 2019. Right. It said people need, yes. Like this right here, I would step back off of this one. Like, it's just no way that this is all, that this much attention should be back on this. I feel like whatever should have been done could have been done then when the story first broke. Hey, no more drama. When the story first broke, whatever was gonna happen criminally, you know, should have happened then. But to now revisit it, so now the attention is back on him, and now he's like, I don't give a f who gonna be affected when I tell my story, because now he's back the topic. Even though, and the crazy thing was, the man wasn't even on here. He wasn't even on the internet. Like, for the fact that he wasn't on the internet, why did they pick a time when this boy had to step back from all this to try to get his life together, get his mental together? Why bring this back up while he in the midst of his healing? So now y'all gonna stop that healing process, believe it or not. Y'all have jumped in and intervened on a child who was trying to heal. So now everything he do now is going to be aggressive pertaining to the situation, because now he got to jump back out here. He's forced to jump back out here because his name is now back all over the internet. So he can't even finish his healing process, because something like that does not heal overnight. If he's been really holding that all this time, it's just not going to go away in a year. You know what I'm saying? It's going to still be there. That pain is still there. That he carried it for all those years. If he still remembered from the age of 9, you think it's going to go away in a year because the world heard about it? No, that pain is still there. It hasn't been dealt with. Because he even said they had time to do whatever it was they needed to do. They didn't do it. So That's that. So basically, what he was doing was sitting back and really waiting on a genuine apology from his mom, or whatever it is he needed from her. Even if it was beyond an apology, he was waiting on that at some point after he revealed it to the public, and it didn't come in the amount of time that he needed it to come in. So now he's like, forget it. I don't care nothing about her. I don't care nothing about this. But now what's going to happen now, unfortunately, whoever offers him the right amount of money, he gonna get him that story. You can see it all in what he's saying. I'm gonna reveal it in my time, and I'm gonna tell my story. But I'm telling y'all, when the person offer him unfortunately offer him the right kind of money for that story, it's gonna be crazy. Mark my words. Now he's saying he's gonna do it on his own time. He's not sitting down with nobody talking about it. Unfortunately, I would wish that they would have handled this before now, behind closed doors, between the mother and the son. Because in reality, hey Pandora, that's who it's between. No matter how much input we all may have, it's between them two to handle it, whether it's criminally or however them two should handle it. Now they got 1,000 people, millions of people in the mix of it, and now you have somebody else that she's made upset that's elevating it. You know what I'm saying? That has a big a bigger platform. I'm not than her, but a bigger platform, and that's kind of doing stuff with law enforcement that's now trying to elevate this. Hey, Dwayne Harris. Y'all, it's not cute. I don't like it. How y'all feel about it? I don't like it. Outside of the fact that we know it's about money, but outside of that, why is the hate so bad for this lady? Do any of y'all know? Outside of the fact that she came on here raw and uncut, she didn't filter herself. Maybe, and I do believe some things she should have kept for herself. I'm gonna 100% tell y'all, I do appreciate a real person, but still, you can be real raw, but still have some type of poise about yourself, which I can say she has none. Now, I'm going to be honest on that part of it. That's right. No more drama. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Yes, I do appreciate that. I do think she has no poise. And in some situations, it's okay to be real, but you still have to be careful the type of imagery that you put out into the world, because your kids are old enough to go to school. So people are very judgmental. Unfortunately, everybody don't have a mind like me and my people on here. You know what I'm saying? So money is the root of all evil. Amen, Pandora Johnson. Everybody don't have the mind like us. So it's gonna come a time when kids be like, "Oh, that's your mama. That was your mama on the internet doing this and that." You see what I'm saying? So we do have to think. I understand it's about money. It's her career. It's what she do, and she's a comedian. But adults laugh at that. Children won't. The stuff that she put out is more adult. We kind of get where she's coming from, but kids don't know how to properly distinguish the difference between fiction and reality sometimes. So when those children that go to school with her children can click on the internet and see her doing some of the things that she do, unfortunately, I can see it may be affecting her children in a negative manner as far as that goes. That's all I have to say about that part of her parenting, because outside of that, she's doing what she can. You know what I'm saying? Even if she's not physically there. And let me tell y'all something. Let me ask y'all something. I don't really know the situation. Just came to YouTube a year ago. Okay, Miss Thing, Black Scorpion. I don't know what has everybody such in an uproar about the lady either. I just know she's real raw and uncut. And I just believe that anything she didn't want out here, she wouldn't put it out here. She's shown us she's pretty much in control of herself. So what she put out, she don't mind to get put out. But I just wish that she would have just a little more poise, again, because of the fact that her children are getting older. She's growing in her career of what she's doing. So, she's going to eventually get all the attention from the world that she wants, but she doesn't want it to all be negative either. You see what I'm saying? Because these kids, y'all know how kids are. And what I was going to ask y'all, the question that I was starting to ask y'all, and then I kind of backtracked off of it. I read that Shell and her husband Kendall paid cash for a new house and truck. Oh yeah, they did, Dwayne. And with all the money that was donated, I thought they would give Miss Holler a grand send off with the gold casket. Yeah, yeah, they did. The That's what I played you last night, Dwayne. That's what the husband was saying when I played that video last night. But let me ask all y'all a serious question, okay? So if you're a mother or a father of a child, right? You've picked a career, you come from nothing, y'all. So I want you all y'all with open mind listen to what I'm saying. You come from nothing. All your life, you've been having to do what you can to feed yourself, to feed your children. A lot of it was unlawful, but you paid your debt to society with whatever consequences came along with your actions when you got caught, right? But as you start to maneuver in your new endeavors, which is social media, you're able at this point to start providing a better life for your child, or children, right? During this time, you expose your children to the internet, thinking that it'll be something just basically showing the life of you and your children. During that time, people are calling CPS on you. So y'all not able to live a normal life. So because every now and then you got to worry about CPS popping up to your kids' school every time you turn around, or popping up to your house when they want to. So your children are constantly being called out of class, asked the same questions, which this is mental trauma. Because now your kids got to always come to your defense, and it should be the other way around. But because of the internet that you opened up your life to, thought thinking that they would appreciate or learn from your story, it went a whole different route. People started judging and started calling CPS. So you made the best decision that you could do, okay? As a parent, you chose to, I'm not going to go back to struggling, right? I'm going to still make sure this is what I do. I can see what this could bring in for me and my family financially, so that my children and my children's children and so forth will be set. So I'm not going to just give it up. Um, but the best thing that I can do for my children, and for the fact that every time you turn around, somebody putting my address all over the internet, exposing. So now there's no more safety, right? So you decide the best thing that I can do for my children is give them to someone that I know is going to love them, right? But I'm still active as much as I can be. But in the midst of the money that I'm making, I'm still making sure my children are financially okay where they are. And it's not like I've disappeared out of their life. I still go see my babies. I drive across the world for my babies. They just can't live in the home with me. So do y'all think that's wrong? Do people understand that sometimes being a parent, the best parent that you can be, is giving the kids away? Because you know you can't be the mother or father that they need or that you feel they deserve? Do you think that's a selfish decision to just decide that I think you will be better cared for elsewhere? What y'all think about that? Look at it from that point of view. Because see, the thing about loving your children is that you love your children unselfishly, and you understand that if you can't be what they need, then you don't make them stay there and suffer with you. You love them enough to let them go. You know what I'm saying? Because who's to say, even if she said, "Oh, forget this internet stuff," she's too deep in. People already know this lady address. They're gonna still find a way to track this lady down and follow her every move. So who's to say, if she gave up all this today, that her life would still be any better? Even if she gave up all this, decided to get all her kids back, then who's to still say that they will be safe, or that they will be able to now back down and live a normal life? What y'all think about that? Any opinions on that? That cost upwards of $50,000. My thought is that Shell will not live stream the funeral because they don't want the world to see that they paid for a much lesser cost funeral. Dwayne, that could be. That could be. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm really still hoping that she changed her mind about that. Even after that last live, I really hope that she changed her mind about not live streaming that funeral. I think that's the least that they can do at this point. After all that's being revealed has been revealed, I think that the least that they can do to at least save face is to live stream that funeral. One of my sons has mental problems and it's hard every day. Okay, Miss Pandora Johnson, I do have people in my family who have children with those issues, and it is hard. But some of us have the strength to endure, and then you have someone like her. But most of the people that have the strength to endure came up in strong backgrounds, right? Okay, I think she made a smart decision for the well-being of her children. Exactly, Sharon Zachary. That is what I believe as well. Watching all the stuff that this lady go through, and for the fact that, just to be honest, it's not disrespecting her mentally, she's not okay. But it's no time in her life for her to slow down, because all she thinks about is, I got to get this money. I got to get this money so that I never go back to where I used to be. See, when you come from nothing, people don't understand. A lot of people that's judging this woman didn't come up like a lot of us came up with nothing. Don't know how I feel to open that refrigerator, ain't nothing in it. Don't know how it feel to be in there, got to open the stove to heat up the house. Don't know how it feel to walk your shoes until the soles off the bottoms. See, a lot of people that's judging never been there. Okay, if you was lucky enough to come up in a productive home where your mom and dad had a support system, or they had good jobs, they come from silver spoons, so they pass silver spoons down to you, that's you. Thank God you didn't have to go through what we all endured, because I would never wish it on my worst enemy. But you know what? During that process, we learned a lot. We learned a lot about valuing things. We learned a lot about love, because we didn't have a lot of materialistic stuff crowding us. So we learned how to love, how to genuinely love people. And we learned about what was important. And it was never nothing materialistic, because we didn't have it. So we didn't cling to what we never had. If she gives all this up, how's she going to take care of her children? They still going to have something to say. Amen, Stinger Black Scorpion. Exactly. So if she go back broke, then they're going to talk now. They talking now because she's not as rich as she was. So imagine if she give all this up, and you can tell her talents are not, I don't think her talents are maybe extended beyond this, to be honest. And it's not no fault of hers. It's just her upbringing. One of my sons said, okay, I read that. I think she made a smart, yeah, I read that. I'm tired. I know you are, Pandora, but you just pray to God, and we're going to all pray to God for you to continue to give you the strength to endure. And, if there's any help out there as far as the village, for God to send it your way to help you. Get you some well-needed rest, some well-needed you time. And God will. Because you're going to get your blessings alone, because you did something a lot of people don't do. A lot of people don't stand there and go through the trials and tribulations. A lot of people just don't want to deal with it. So God going to provide for you. He looking out for you regardless. He going to make sure that you stand tall and that you come out on the other end victorious, Pandora Johnson. So it's going to all be worthy. It's going to all be worth it. You just keep on holding on to God's unchanging hand, baby. He's not going to leave you. And I know it gets hard sometimes. But it's through those times that your strength is built. And it's through those times that God is watching you the most. And he's preparing your blessing for you. He's preparing your blessing. If she, that's what I'm saying, Stinger Scorpion. If she give it all up and walk away from it, then they gonna still talk. So it's like this lady, damned if she do and damned if she don't. Now, like I said, the only thing that I be saying is that even though some of the stuff be funny, some of it just be a little extensive. And the only reason why it's extensive is just because, like I said, her children go to school, and as they get older, their friends will be able to come on the internet and see those things. They be like, oh, that was your mama. Your mama did this. Your mama did that. Because kids don't see stuff, of course, like grown people see it, because it's grown. What she do is for grown people. So kids gonna always see it in a different manner than we will. So that be my only thing. But outside of that, her real and rawness is most of the stuff that a lot of people do behind closed doors. She just bold enough to come on the camera and do it with no filter. And see, that's what I was telling y'all, the same thing about Kyle. They too real for this current society that we're in. Everybody just want to be perfect, a perfect version of what they think they should be for society. They're not even working on being the perfect version of their self for what they want to be, because they too worried about being a people pleaser. So they conforming their identity to fit what society sees as perfect, and never understanding that no matter how much you upgrade your life for society, you're never going to be enough for a bunch of people that don't know you. They're going to always think that you should have more. To them, you'll never be of value. Because people gonna always have something to say. I don't care who you is. We see billionaires get talked about every day like a dog. The ones that stay in the media. So why are you striving for a goal that's unreachable? And that is to make everybody in the world like you. It's not possible. So you wasting all your time and energy trying to reach something that's unreachable because you should never be trying to reach it in the first place. It's fiction. It's an illusion. You should love yourself better than that anyway, than to be around here trying to be a people pleaser and trying to be for everybody. That says something about you. Your self-esteem ain't as big as you try to say. You can scream it to the mountaintop 1,000 times a day if you want to. I go by your actions. I don't care what you say out your mouth. I'm going by what I see you doing. And a people pleaser can never tell me they have high self-esteem because you're a liar. You too worrying about what people think about you than worrying about being yourself. You can't love yourself if you can't be in your own company. How you gonna say you love yourself? Facts. Everybody's not gonna like you, player. And like I say, y'all know I say it all the time, I ain't for everybody, and I'm okay with that. Because a lot of people I don't want to be for. Because a lot of people ain't, they vibes is off. I don't want everybody in my space. That poor lady, damned if she do. That's right. She is Miss Stinker Black Scorpion. It's like nothing she can do is right. Because people can't see it as just learn how to watch people. And even if you watch people to learn what not to do, do that. But don't knock them down or judge them because that's where she come from. Let me tell y'all something about childhood trauma. That's just like when kids come from, let me tell y'all something. All right. If kids come from a abusive home, right? They're going to do one or two things. Either they're going to have their children, they're going to choose to be an abuser as well, because that's the only way that they were taught to show discipline. Or they're going to be a parent that don't discipline enough, because they're going to remember those feelings that they had as a child being abused, and they're not going to know how to separate disciplining your children from abusing your children. So they're going to just choose not to put their hands on them at all. So now they're going to have a bunch of undisciplined children, and they're going to try soft parenting. That's going to be their main, but they're not going to know how to distinguish that some kids really can't take the soft parenting. Don't work for all children. But that's the only method they're going to ever apply, because again, they can remember the child that they were, running from those butt cuttings or scared to come home because you know that your teacher called your mama, and you already know as soon as you walk through the door, your mama and daddy going to be physical. They're not going to even ask you. Back in the days like we do now, we'll ask the kids because now we can see as we've gone through school ourselves. So we paid attention that sometimes teachers lie too. Even in this current age, a lot of the teachers are younger. So they lie too. And a lot of them just don't like your children to be expressive. And they think they can talk to your kids anyway, any kind of way, do anything to your children, because they believe that the parents is just supposed to believe that the teacher's telling the truth. I know walked up on a teacher being straight crazy with my son. And he kept telling me, and I didn't believe him. I would always say, "Well, that lady got to lie on you. Ain't nobody lying on you." Until one day I said, "Get up, go to the school and see for yourself." So I went to the school for myself. I said, "Oh, no, don't tell them I'm coming. It's a surprise." So they let me. I went to the classroom and I walked in just in time of the teacher doing exactly what my son said that she would do. He asked him to go to the bathroom. She's screaming at him, "You ain't got to go," talking to him. And I walked straight through the door. I said, who are you talking to? Oh, it was about to be a day. The principal came running. Yeah, I showed out. Don't disrespect my child, because you the reason my child is. Then y'all be wondering why these kids in here fighting and stuff, because y'all are feeding them this negative energy. And then when they react, then you want to blame it on the parents at home. But the reality of it is some of the teachers are inflicting this pain on your children, and y'all don't want to realize it. Because it's easier to say it's coming from the home. You got to understand these children are with these teachers 8 hours a day too. And when they are at the school, they don't have no defense mechanism. They don't have nobody to speak up for them, because all of them work together. The teachers, the principals, the guy, all them work. They all are one. So there's no defense mechanism. Your child is alone. And you're going to choose to either believe them and go see for yourself, sneak up to that school and see for yourself, or you're going to be beating the mess out your child, keep punishing your child, and your child going to start forming this thing like, nobody want to hear me. Now your child feels voiceless. So that pain comes out physically, because now they want to fight the children because they feel like I'm some competition for them. I can't beat these teachers, but these children, that's something different. So when a child says something to them, now they don't know how to deal with conflict. They don't know how to, they got misappropriated anger. So that's why I'm always the one I see now. But one thing about my kids, I can tell when they lying. And if the teacher says something that's common, I'll be like, yeah, oh yeah, he or she did that. You ain't lying. But I also know when the teacher lying. I'm getting real good at that too. And what did you say? Because I told my kids, I don't care. I told them, I don't care if we're in front of the teacher. What did she do? If you can stand in front of me and stand in front of him or her and tell me what they did, looking them in the eyes, I know you're not lying. Because see, teachers still human. And yes, they have to teach our children, but that don't give them the right to be disrespectful and belittle our children either, because they overworked, they're underpaid. If you have a kids that talk, if she don't have her kids, they talk facts. If she don't have a man, they talk. What you say, Miss Stinger Black Scorpion? I'm so sorry, Miss 1901, but Shell has totally lost me. Miss Holler is not even buried yet, and Shell and her husband have paid cash for a new house and car. I wish them well, but Shell, God knows. That's what I was saying, Mr. Dwayne. That's what the video what he said yesterday. He said that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying about the backlash from what he did on that video, because he told that himself. Like, you came out and told the world what you shouldn't have. See, people got to learn to keep something for themselves. Like, even if you know that it may not, come across correctly, then you got to be careful. You got to be careful on how you put stuff out in the world. Like, you don't care about how other people feel about it when it was other people that was sending, their hard-earned money. You got to be real careful with that, I just hate that video came out, and I'm very quite sure it's more people in the world now than it was before that video that's kind of in the uproar, like you, Mr. Harris. I just pray they clean that up. They need a PR to clean that up. You love Miss Holler, don't know about Shell. A lot of people are starting to feel like that now, Pandora Johnson, and that's unfortunate, because I just really, really, really had high hopes for them. If you go look at any videos I did before, it was always in defense of them. But when you come out and you do something like that, so explosive and without any decorum and without any care for how it may come off to other people when it was their money and not yours, that kind of puts a dent in your character. And like I said, it's kind of a bad thing. I just wish I was hoping that they came out and was trying to clean it up. I see he came back and did another video where he was saying that video previous, which was the one we listened to last night, was not for their supporters. It doesn't matter who it was for. Nobody's going to separate themselves. You said what you said. It wasn't just supporters that sent you money. It may have been people that was not supporters. They just liked Miss Holler. So it still makes it about everybody that was ever a part of that foundation of that page growing, and the love offerings that were sent. Everybody. Hey, Miss R. Everybody's going to have an issue. Shell's husband Kendall basically told us that's what he did. I'm with you when you're right. I can't. I told y'all last night, it's like to a point where I won't speak down on them. No, I won't. I'll never kick nobody while they down. That's not something I'm gonna do, period. That ain't in me. But once it all boils over, I'm gonna we're gonna, at this point, y'all, we just gonna see where the rocks lay. Right now they floating. But again, I'll never kick them while they down and in the middle of such a tragedy, but do I think the world gonna let them get away with it? No. But it's not really much they can do at this point now. So I just will hope they would send them in love and let it go, But who knows? Some people may, some people won't. But that's one bandwagon I'm not jumping on. Yeah. The world loved Miss Holler. Miss Holler that's why that statement was the actor, does the director give the actor all the money, or they give the actor what they want to give them and they keep the rest? That was the worst comment that could have ever been made, because she was the star. If it was a show, it wasn't nothing actor about her. You can't put Miss Holla and actor in the same category, because she was too raw. She wasn't acting nothing. You know what I'm saying? She was raw and uncut. So you can't put her and actor in the same sentence. So that's where the first level of just disrespect um, came in. And that was the part that rattled me. The fact that he would even um, put that and her name in the same sentence. You know what I'm saying? That was the part that kind of took me over the edge and kind of pissed me off. For them to shuffle off like that and say, if an actor, even if he didn't specifically say her, but he used that as a example. But it's still, you was applying that example to y'all situation with that page, and that just wasn't right. That wasn't the right verbiage to use. And I just pray people can forgive them. If they can't, I can't get up and say, oh, they wrong for not forgiving them, because that was harsh. That was very, very harsh. And I just wish he would have thought before he said that, or at least came back and did a longer live where he did not just try to pinpoint and say it was only for a specific group of people. Because in that, you didn't you cursed out the supporters that was saying whatever it was they were saying, but in the same instance, in the same sentence, you added a little blemish to that foundation by saying that. The entire situation is sad. They would have been able to continue the legacy if they did it correctly. My question to them was it worth it? Amen, Miss R. That is. Oh, Miss R. And can you tell Dwayne how to do the membership badges? He was trying to find out last night. We was looking for you last night to tell him how to do it, how you were able to do it. Because I don't know. I was looking, Miss R. I don't see it. Y'all can tell. Y'all can tell I come to talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't even looking to how to do nothing. I just know the people said the stuff was available, and I don't even press it. But yeah, that I'm very well at Miss R. I'm turning 63 this Thursday. What the doctors told me that okay, look at God. Look at God. See what I'm saying about listening to them dogs? They don't have the last say so. God has the last say so of his children. I tell people that's right. And I love those kind of success stories. You don't tell me. God has the last say so. And he the only one I'm listening to. Those kind of success. I'm trying to see. See, I don't see it either. How Miss R did it. I don't know how Miss R did that. Because I don't see the tabs. Hit the... Okay, she's saying the same thing. Hit the $ at the bottom right and select get membership. The only crime Michelle did was not obtain a business manager to manage Holla's career. I agree with that, Green Tea. I think more professional people, even when it was that kind of money, I think more professional people should have intervened to keep everything on the up and up and to properly manage that kind of money. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing with that. That's just like, if God's willing, something like that would happen in my life. I know I've never seen that kind of money before. So I know that just myself, that because you do have to worry about paying taxes on it, because nothing is tax free. And then they said the social sites don't take their own taxes out. So you're required, when tax time come around, you're required to pay taxes on it. And see, they could have saved themselves by taxes by having employees. You understand? Everybody could have been employees under us EIN number. They could have been employees, since he want to say now that she was the actor. If he was the director, they were all directors. She should have been, under EIN. This all should have been under EIN and just handled in the business mindset of it, so that you wouldn't find yourself looking at a place now that you can't take no losses for. You can't claim no losses to try to, obtain and keep some of that bread. There's no losses because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't professionally done as a business. Michelle should have monetized all the platforms, have merchandise pre-order with Holla's famous comments. That's true. And I think she did actually end up getting merch towards the end because I think they're selling shirts and stuff now. Which I did see. I don't think I know that they are selling shirts and stuff with Miss Holla on them. Those yellow shirts. But I just wish that somebody would have stepped in before. That's why I said even LA coming in this late in the game. I feel like if you cared and you knew the business side of it, and it was very obvious. And I'm not saying she doesn't care, but I just feel like if you already knew because you just went through the same thing with this big tech stuff, that you, if it was something genuine to the heart, you would have stepped in the beginning and told them, ask them, do y'all have this under an EIN number? Because all y'all can be considered employees under the EIN. So when it comes taxes, y'all can get paid for the gas that y'all have to spend to come over. Y'all can get paid for those cell phones that y'all use to record. All those are losses. You know what I'm saying? The money from all those are losses. The money that you pay for cell phones, the money that you pay for cameras, whatever all it took to run that particular structure of a business, they would have been able to claim it as a loss to help with their taxes. But now at this point, there's no losses to claim because there's no professional business, no LLC, no, nothing that's backing it. So I pray that works out for them because the reality of it all is this. Unfortunately, everything that was made could actually be taken back because, taxes, unfortunately, when you're making big bread like that, taxes sometimes become over half of your money, So that could, unfortunately, reverse everything, draw 4, then draw 2, it could become that could become a hassle. They should have trademarked her. They should have marked that name. You are so right, Miss R. They should have did all that in the beginning. Once it blew, because it blew overnight. So once it blew overnight, there was enough time. But I just think, again, if you don't have the proper people in place to tell you to do that, then unfortunately mistakes are going to happen. So that's why when it first came out, when everybody was talking about the money, I already knew in my heart. I'm like, shoot, they got to pay taxes on that bridge, and sometimes taxes over half. And I haven't seen anything where they did an LLC or anything. So unfortunately, they can't claim any losses. So they're going to have to give all that back to the IRS. You know what I'm saying? Yes, $40 t-shirts, which is the going rate for most customized t-shirts. So I don't blame the price. They will still be able to write it off their loss because they are 1099 employees. But did they ever structure it like that, Ms. R? Okay, Michelle doesn't seem well educated and sophisticated enough to do the basics like copyright Holla's name and likeness. You knew. Good night, everyone. Oh, good night, Miss Stinger Black Scorpion. Sleep easy, baby. Have a great night's sleep. Yeah, so it's just like I hope that somebody was on the back end. I hope that somebody, maybe they just ain't exposed it to us, but I hope on the back end somebody was taking care of that part of it. But sometimes, when you're in a situation, again, when you come from nothing and all that money just start flowing in, sometimes it's not, people don't think about just stopping to think about that the I, the aura, and the S. Sometimes when all that money coming in and it's tax free, you thinking in your head, you just know it's coming in, and as quick as it's coming in, you spending it. So unfortunately, sometimes it ain't that you don't take that pause for the cause that's really needed to be taken to make sure that you handle it right. But that's why I was saying everybody mad about it. Like I said, only thing I really was upset about was the way that he came out. But I still say to this day, I want to know the trigger. What triggered him to come out and speak so malice? Speak kind of malicious, kind of to people. I still say somebody triggered him. I don't know who triggered him to make him come out and make that live and say so much that should not have been said, because now that's going to be, that kind of set the stage for people to continue to target them instead of letting them grieve properly. And they seem like a nice family to me. I've always, like I said, all the videos, I've always stood up for them. And at this point, I'm just Green Tea. You said not necessarily, what part? She needs the right tax person. She can definitely write off a lot. She is self-employed as a 1099 employee. Oh, you know what, Miss R? I think they did say she was a caretaker, allegedly. I'm saying allegedly because that's what somebody else said too. They was like, allegedly they said that she was Miss Hollis' caretaker. So she gonna have to do taxes for that too, right? So do you think she can include that in that? Dollar for Holler could have raised $500,000 based on the views, and she did that twice. She did Dollar for Holler twice, and I know her birthday. Her birthday did good too. Her birthday did very well. And like I said, I never knock nobody that, because like I said, I know how it feel to come from nothing. So I never knock somebody coming from nothing to finally, because we all, when you come from nothing, everybody want to see that day when you can finally see better days. You know what I'm saying? So everybody that comes from nothing should understand what this family unfortunately went through. They saw money. They didn't make, may have not made all the right choices, but sometimes money can do that to you, even when you never had it. And then you got to think, when she first starts quit her job, she said it was before that happened. So she probably was already financially in a bond. So when that money started coming, I think the first thing she probably started doing was recovering from the fact that she had already quit her job prior to everything starting to pop. So she had to, probably pay to recover those losses that they took during the time when she was down. And I commend her because she was coming on camera, probably still going through hard times, but she was still finding, caring enough to, put Holla on here to make us smile. So I think they are grieving her uneducated, out informed, ill informed. So I have to get right. That's exactly what I'm saying, Ms. R. Gotta give them grace. Taxes on $100,000 is 25%. Green is mean. Yeah, green is mean. Green will alter. I've seen money turn some good people bad, y'all. And I just think this family stepped into something so fast. And just made some bad decisions. And I'm not going to even say bad decisions. They made the decisions that a lot of people would have made, the decisions to better their situation. Because if you get in money and you're not bettering your situation, what's the need of getting it? And like I said before, like last night, we saw Miss Holler was bedridden. So we know she wasn't spending that money. So nobody can't jump back now and be like, oh, y'all spent the money. What y'all thought was gonna happen with it? Like, that's the question I really want to know. What did y'all think was going to happen with the money? She was bedridden. What do y'all think the money was going? Shell can 1099 Janice, Kendall, Maya, and anyone that she paid. But can she still do that now, Miss R, due to the fact that it wasn't set up originally? Green is mean, it can make you, yeah, it can. It can. It can. But like I said before, I just want to show them some grace. I thought about it all last night. Because they took it, fam. Yeah, but I just want to show them some grace, just because everybody needs grace, and we all got to understand who knew what we would have done in that situation. Grandma bedridden. At the end of the day, she can't spend it. You know what I'm saying? So would you have just let it sit? Let's just be honest about it, y'all. Would you have just let it sit there? Because what she did say now, she said she bought the house because they were going to move Miss Holler in the house with them. So let's make sure that we mention that. She bought the house because she was in her room the other night. She said the room that she was in was Miss Holler's room, and that was the room where she was going to stay. So she bought the house for them. So it wasn't just for her and her family. It was for her to move Miss Holler out the situation that she was in into a better situation. So you see, so we do all have to remember that. It wasn't just like she bought a house for her and her family. She bought a house for her grandmother too. She had all intentions, from what she said on her live, to move Miss Holler in that room. So which again, we saw how, you know, small the space she was in. So, you know, like Cal say, what he said, a 2-bedroom flat. So, you know, so she was going to try to better her situation. She was going to put her in a better, nicer house. So people got to think about that too. You know, when we talk about her buying a house, that was one of the reasons why she bought the house. I forgot to tell you that, Dwayne Harris. So that is why she bought the house. She was going to move her grandmother in with her. Michelle made the pages to make money so she could stay at home to keep Miss Holler. Exactly. That was the original. I think that was the original thing, and I just wish she would just say that. You know what I'm saying, Ms. R? Just be honest, because we already all that's not judging you. We all know that. Um, because that's why mostly everybody make pages, content creators and stuff. That's why the pages are made. So why do we think that she would have made it for any other reason? You know? They didn't have a lot of time to think. They blew up. Yeah, exactly, Miss R. They blew up very fast. Like it was basically overnight. And so outside of getting the money, they're also focusing on Miss Holla living. Y'all have to think. So of course their minds are not 100% clear. You know what I'm saying? They're not 100% thinking clearly because they still in the back of their mind wanting her to live and having to hear her say, I don't want to die. So you have to think about that. That's emotional. You know, that's mental. Mentally, I just believe at this point, mentally, we have to understand that they was not in the right headspace. And neither would I have been. So I'm just going to give them some grace and be 100% honest about that. I wouldn't have been either. Yes, but she knew that her grandmother didn't have long to live. Dwayne, Miss Holler's sister lived to 105, so I'm not sure if they knew that. Okay. Oh, Miss, you know what? I didn't remember that, Miss R. Yeah, so I think that they didn't know that she was gonna go nowhere. Cause you got to think now, Dwayne. Even though they still may do good, they know they're not gonna do. You know, well, I'm not gonna even put limitations on them because they're awesome people from what I could see as far as how sweet they are. Some of them, because Kendall, I still want to twist his ear. Um, I just believe they're gonna make that right. But you know, I don't know if it'll do as good as the videos with Miss Holla did, but I think they are still very capable of keeping the momentum going. That's why I think that's another reason why I think she should really live stream, even if she's going to continue doing social media. I think they should live stream because if she's going to continue to do social media, it's going to be imperative actually that she live stream in order for her to keep all the supporters that she has now and hopefully gain more so that she can continue on her own. Because again, over watching them, we grew to love the family. It wasn't just Miss Holla. Now she was the main character, yes, and you know we definitely want to see her. But Janice, I love to see her cook and sing. Um, Shell, I love to see her. She just gives me this sense of what is the word I'm looking for? She just seems so humble and she just don't seem like nobody that you could be mean to. That's just say that. So because of that innocence, she has an innocence about her that just keeps me, you know, watching her. She has this innocence. Um, I don't know, that just keeps me. I like her. This holiday she was going. She kept saying it, I think, because she was believing more of what the hospice people was telling her, Miss Johnson. But at the same time, when she was saying that she knew, she kept saying she didn't want to die. So, you know, when you have a loved one, you hold on to that. And you continue to pray and you hold on to hope, even with her having a sister that lived to 105. You know, they was just hoping that God, you know, that God turned it around, but he was just ready for her. Because she was still in pain. And see, God ain't gonna let you be in pain but so long, you know. She had that, you know, that massive the growth from the cancer. So he wasn't gonna let her suffer too much longer. She is probably not live streaming because no matter what she does, people are going to criticize. And I think Shelley's at her breaking point, in my opinion. I believe that, Miss R. I believe that she is at her breaking point because again, she comes across so sweet and humble. But I just need her to stand up for herself in this situation, you know? Even if this is something, because again, now you still don't have employment. Um, So I want her to still, if she wants to continue to do social media, I just want her to stand up for herself. Don't let these people run you off the internet. Um, say what you say, stand in what you say, believe in what you say. Let people take you as you are, like your brother. Be like Cal. Be yourself. Whether y'all take me or not take me, you're gonna at least be you, because you can only respect a person that's real. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much you may want to hate it, you can only, if you're a real person, you can only respect another person that's real and comes out. Why we can't just pray for the family and remember the funny times? We all are doing that, Miss Faith Marie. Um, we're not dwelling on anything negative over here. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's just that, we're just at a point where we all sit here. We're gonna show them some grace here, Miss Faith Marie. We're gonna all remember that. But you have to think it's a whole world of people that's spewing negativity about them and won't show them any grace. So what we do here is we have, people can express their opinions, but we still don't pass judgment. We understand that nobody is perfect. And as you can see, if you go back in the actual comments, we were just giving some tips about how she could maybe fix the issues that they're in now, because outside of us showing them grace and continuing to show appreciation for them, she's going to need some of this information like Miss R put in here, to help her with her taxes, because we don't want them in a bad situation. We don't want them to have to go backwards. We want that family to continue to thrive. They wasn't funny. It was just Miss Holler. We came, oh, Faith Marie. I mean, Janice was sometime now. Come on now, Faith now. Now Janice was now. I don't think hubby now. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Kendall is made for social media. Cause he just gets pissed. He don't play. So I don't think he's made for social media, because unfortunately with social media comes the good and the bad. And Shell is too humble. So he can't be. I don't think he should be on here and be able to see, because unfortunately it's gonna be those people that like you, and it's gonna be those people that don't like you. And he reacts all the time. So I think that would probably just, you know, I don't think he's in the headspace unless it's just strictly sports. That's his happy place. So I think if he do, it should just be strictly sports. It shouldn't be so much of interacting with people outside of sports, because Kendall be ready to jump through the phone. Yeah, she needs time to grieve. She isn't like Cal. We are not walking in her shoes. Facts, she do. I agree. She needs time to grieve. God is definitely good, Pandora. Not to me, Dwayne Harris. I think Janice was cool. I think, I love the way she sing. I wish she would really just sing. She always give us a little pinch, little potion. Of course, I mean, Maya wouldn't be who we watch. We have nothing in common with her. She's a child. Her and Miss Holler came like a package. So, that's as much as I have to say about that. She's a child. We wouldn't. I don't think it would be. Maybe it would be something that my children watch, but not me. I never came to see Janice. It was always Holler, honey. Thanks for talking back. Hello, that's oh Lord, favorite is acting up tonight. Yeah, I mean the majority of the show. If they would, I ain't gonna lie now. If they would have just came on and know how. Oh, wait a minute, Women's Holler. We gonna be honest, yeah. But I mean, they all had something, and I just think they'll have more to give. Janice, I like to see her cook, and she sings, and she reads. I like her read sometimes when she have to get on somebody in the comment. I love to see people stand up for themselves. Good night, Miss R. We love you. I like to see people stand up for themselves. And she do. She ain't no punk. We ain't finna play with her. You know what I'm saying? So I love that about her. I love that complete about her. And I still wish the best for them. I just keep still seeing so much negativity over it. I'm like, dang, man. Because you still gotta think, like I said, after this, she still does not work. So I don't want their income to stop, and you have to keep up the momentum, to keep people interested, so people will keep coming. And of course your monetization and all that will stay in place. And that's why I still wish them nothing for the best, because if anybody, like I said, if anybody love Miss Holler, they can't be wishing bad for that family, because she loved all of them. So if you loved her, you should genuinely love them. They are one. Regardless of, now I think most things are being done off emotion rather than logic, or taking the time to sit back and logically think. They coming out to defend themselves, which they have a right to, but sometimes you have to think before you speak, even when you mad, you know, even when you pissed. Because honey, when I pissed off, I can say some stuff. They're like, what? I don't even know what I said, but I said it and I mean it. You know what I'm saying? It just be some off the wall. And I just think that's so much of what it is. It's just emotion. It's just emotion. But like I said, they were one. So if we really love her, I just think we should show this family some grace and just love them through it all. That's just like you have to love your disobedient children and stuff, and you have to love your disobedient aunties, and the ones that talk to you crazy. You love them through it all, right? So I think that's just what it's gonna be, that kind of thing. Love them through it all, because the financial part and all that other stuff, I just think we should all have boundaries. That ain't our business, really. But when you come out and address the world the way he did, that's a conversation. It makes it a conversation because you address the world. That wasn't anything private. You address the world in that manner. So now of course, people gonna have something to say about it, even with that comparison. I wish he didn't make that analogy. That comparison wasn't the good. That wasn't a good idea. But love you. Good night. Love you too, Pandora Johnson. Have a good night. Yep, and hit the like button. That's right. Hit that like button on y'all way out, y'all. I did not realize it was this late. Y'all came on late tonight. I also wish them well, but everybody you right. I mean, a lot of people gonna feel like that, Mr. Harris. A lot of people gonna feel like that. A lot of people gonna feel like that, and that's how the cookie crumbles, though. You win some, you lose some. You keep some, you lose some. But the people who's meant to stay will stay, and everything happens in God's divine timing. And it may come a time that your mind changes. Right now, it's soon. Right after that just happened. So I think if they ever decide that they want to try to clear anything up, then I think people will understand more where they come from once they can take time to physically heal and then come out and say whatever it is that they want to say from a clear place and a more healed heart. She's not even buried yet. So right now is just not the time. They're not emotionally prepared to clear nothing up. Right now, they're just in a place where you come play with me, you say anything crazy, I'm going to defend myself. So right now, their guards are up. They wasn't prepared for any negativity surrounding her death. So along with the positive, they got a lot of negative through the door. So they didn't even know how to gather their emotions. They expected the whole world, which that's what I thought it would be too. The whole world being having their back, not everybody digging in their pockets and all this excessive extra stuff that came along with it. They never expected that. So now they like, wait a minute, y'all loved me last night when she was alive. And now today y'all hate me. Now today you worrying about what's in my pockets. How did y'all change overnight? So and then I get it. Because I'd have been saying the same thing. Dang, y'all changed on me overnight. Y'all loved me for the last 3 years, every day for the last 3 years. But now overnight, y'all hate me. Overnight, now all of a sudden you want to run my pockets. All this overnight. So was the love for the last 3 years even real? On top of me having to deal with, now I got to bury my grandmother. So her absence is felt. So, that's a lot. That's a lot for people to deal with all in one nutshell. So that's why I still show them grace, because I see it from all avenues of what can be happening right now. And it's no judgment here. I just pray that, everybody in the world maybe show them some grace, choose to watch or not watch. But I just don't want people to attack them. You know what I'm saying? Show them some grace, because none of us perfect. We all fall short, even when emotions are involved, even negative emotions surrounding death. So yes, also wish them well. That's that's the best to do in any situation. Wish them well and send them in love. I ain't gonna give up on them just yet. I'm gonna see what they do. I just got faith in them, because if anything, Holla she gone, her earthly cavity is gone, but I just got a feeling she gonna do her last big one. She gonna fix this for them. Watch now. I just think she gonna do her last big one for them. My mind would change after I ask for my God's mercy for sticking my and don't we all? We all gotta ask for that, right? That's what we all gotta do. Because the best thing for us to just not watch, and that's why I get a lot of people say, if you rock with me, don't watch the negative stuff that comes, the commentary from others that don't like me, because it kind of can alter the way you may feel about me. Um, Me, I'm not that type of person. What kind of just shift, it ain't really shifted me either because I'm still with them. But what kind of messed it up a little bit is that it came from in-house. What was said came from Kendall. So it wasn't from outside. It came from them. It came from inside. So, that that's the thing that makes it worse. So we all gonna continue to pray for them as Holla would have wanted us to. We are praying still that we all get to enjoy into her homegoing. I pray that God eases her family's heart and that they allow us and understand that we all were still there for the last 3 years, and that they show us some grace as we show them. And understand that we really just want to say our last goodbyes, even if it's just through live streaming. Because now a lot of us watched her every day she came on. So now a lot of us got to find something else to do at that time. So, it's still a difference in the whole world's life. Even people that was consistent watchers. So, but it's up to them because at the end of the day, that was their actual. But when you share somebody with the world, you got to understand sometimes you can love people without, that's just like love at first sight. You can fall deeply in love with somebody when you physically see them face to face, and that's basically what happened with her. It was love at first sight for the whole world. So I just hope that they show us the same grace there, and I hope everybody's willing to show them grace. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna come back a little earlier tomorrow, y'all. I'll be working. That's why during the weekend I come on a little earlier, but during the week I work. So it was a little later than expected tonight because my son, after I get off, I have to go pick him up from work, my son's, and then I get on. Tonight, he worked a little later than usual. If I knew he was going to work a little later than usual, I would have came on earlier and been off by the time to pick him up. But he didn't tell me he was going to work later. He just called late. But y'all already know what my saying is. May your today be better than yesterday, even though today almost over. But may your tomorrow be better than today. Every day that God blows that breath in your body, you're one step closer to your season. Don't fumble yourself worrying about the word. And again, y'all, prayers out to Miss Holla's family. And y'all, even in the midst of this confusion, stay focused and show them grace. Nighty night, I'm out.